So yesterday, Virginia finally approved the Medicaid expansion. Now, that is fantastic news. That was a crucial part of Obamacare. One of the best provisions of Obamacare was the Medicaid expansion. And basically, to sum that up, they took the income level where if you fall under that level, you can get Medicaid. They took that level under Obamacare and raised it. So more people were able to get Medicaid. Because what happens is there are some people who make too much money to be in Medicaid, but they don't make enough money to really afford healthcare on the private market. By the way, great healthcare system we have here, isn't it? So these are working people, lower middle-class working people who just couldn't afford their healthcare. Obamacare expanded Medicaid so those people were allowed into Medicaid so they can get their healthcare. Now, great provision of Obamacare, but what happened was the Supreme Court ruled that it was somewhat unconstitutional in that you couldn't force states to expand their Medicaid. So as a result of the Supreme Court decision, they said states can determine whether or not they want to opt in to the Medicare expansion. And what happened naturally is the blue states were all like, okay, great, we're going to expand Medicaid, and that helped a lot of people. And all the red states, for sheer political reasons, were like, no, fuck Medicaid, we're not going to expand it. And as a result of that, this is not an exaggeration, this is not hyperbole, this is, I think it was a Harvard study that crunched the numbers on this. They found that at least 7,000 people every year die as a result of the Republicans not expanding Medicaid. So, in Virginia, in the most recent election, we had a little bit of a changing of the guard here. More Democrats were elected, and so they decided we're going to expand Medicaid now. Wonderful. So they did it. They succeeded. Now, it was not easy to get it through because the Republicans are the Republicans, and we know how they are. Take a look at what one of them said. GOP lawmaker shrugs off preventable deaths during Medicaid hearing. When your time's up, you're gonna die. Holy shit. That's Senator Bill Carrico, a Republican from Grayson County. What kind of a loathsome scumbag, cretin asshole would say something like that? I mean, imagine being presented with irrefutable proof that, hey man, if you expand Medicaid, thousands less people, fewer people will die. If you don't, those people, they're going to die. They're going to die. You're sentencing people to die if you don't expand Medicaid. And your response is a flippant, well, you know, when your time's up, your time's up. Are you fucking kidding me? Imagine this asshole in a car crash, laying on the ground, bleeding out, and then the medical professionals show up and they're like, you know what? When your time's up, am I right? And he's laying there like, my femur's broken and I'm bleeding out on the pavement. When your time's up, man. What are we going to do? This is natural. It's all natural. So now if I were to stop it, that would be unnatural for me to... So, hey, when your time's up, you're going to die. I mean, that's the logic of what he's saying. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? If we have a system where we don't give healthcare coverage to thousands of people and they die... I mean, it is what it is, man. You can't change that. Of course you can fucking change that. Of course you can change that. So listen, they work backwards from their conclusion. That's what they do. And they look at the social order and they think there's something inherent about the way everything is, and this is natural. So don't even try to tweak it. This is a philosophy that is really embedded on the right, deep in their subconscious. That's how it strikes me. That they look at the world how it is, and they go, this is it in its natural state. And any kind of policies that we would try to implement to tweak the order to improve people's lives, that's just not a good idea because by its very nature, the system shouldn't be tweaked. So it is what it is and leave it as is. Then why are you in government? Why are you in government? The whole idea is, we set up a system where there are safety nets, and the people who are worse off get help in certain circumstances, and we have infrastructure, and we build a system that accommodates, the people of the country. But if you look at the world and you go, no, it's in its natural state now, so it is what it is, and leave it as is, then why the fuck are you in government? Why are you in government? Because you obviously don't want to improve the lives of your constituents. He literally said, when your time's up, you're going to die. So why expand Medicaid? You could use that logic to, like, okay, get rid of all treatment for cancer. When your time's up, you're going to die. What are you going to do? Get rid of all the treatment for cancer. I mean, that's what we should do, right? You have to fight to try to improve your constituents' lives. Instead of doing that, you're giving them a middle finger for bullshit, partisan, illogical, immoral reasons. Because, you know, you don't want to expand Medicaid. You don't want to help the Democratic Party. You don't want to change the system the way it exists. But just imagine for a second if he was in trouble, how quickly he would change his tune on this. You know, if it was him or a family member, he'd be like, wait, what? We're not going to help people, or you're going to let me go bankrupt because somebody in my family's hurt? That doesn't make sense. That's not right. But when it's other people, he looks at it and goes, yeah, that's the natural order of things. That's fine. I don't see why this is a problem. When your time's up, you're going to die. God, they're so stupid. Oh my God, they're so stupid. It's hard to wrap your mind around how irrational these people are.